Okay, now we're here ready for the top knot. I always do the tail on the top knot last because you've got to have this part finished for the head and under the neck, and you've got to have this part and all this hair gone for the tail. It's easier. So for the top knot, I leave her hooked up. You need her, she can be sitting. We'll let her sit because she's been standing for a while. You can let her sit for the front. Okay. Now you can see what it looks like from the front. Pretty bushy. She cannot see where she's going. You can either tie it up, which we don't want to do because somebody would chew it off, or you can trim it, this is pretty typical of a dog that hasn't had her top knot cut in for a while. So this is a good way to show you how to cut in a new top knot because it's pretty much there. And I do it where it's forward but more natural. You can take her ears and kind of shake here. Same thing. Lay your scissors here under the eyes and at an angle out. Don't go straight up and down because when that hair relaxes, they're going to look like they hit a brick wall. So straight up and curved, and I take it around under the eye, around, just a little. I'm just doing the front right now, nothing else, just the front. And you can take it around, and you can see it from the top how it's starting to shape up. Now, what I do, a lot of dogs have curly hair over the eyes. I like to bring the hair down and then take the top forward, take it back. Then I run my scissors right up to the top of the eye and I take it up a little higher so you can see those eyes if she would open them. Carmen. There she goes. Now you can see it. She doesn't look mad. Same thing on this side. All that. And then just over the eye. Not anywhere else, just over the eye. Now you can see that eye better. And you can shorten this right in here where that V is for some people. You can do the V or not. I shorten all that. Okay? Then I start towards the ear. Comb it over and take it around right to the ear. You can see where I cut it. Okay? And you want to do it from where you shaved up. If you didn't shave high enough, you'll see it hanging over. Okay, you see it right here? You'll see it hanging over. And then you do this side. Okay. And it pretty much looks just alike on the front. You can go over a couple times. Make sure you didn't miss anything. Because hair will get stuck up in there sometimes. Take it a little tighter next to her eye there, her ear. And you can see where we're going with this. And from the front, on the side, you can see I'd like to take a little more of that front, that shelf. We call that a shelf. It sticks out over the eye. And if you do that too short, they look like they're really surprised. Okay. So you set up the front end. And if your dog has a really big top knot, well, some people, and then you can, she doesn't have that much. You can go ahead and cut across the top, the shape that you want. We're going to give her a little bit of a shorter top knot because she's got a short body. Now, some people like this the bigger head, and you can do it. You would basically, we'll go ahead and do it. You will basically trim the top knot, but leave all of this, okay, and blend it to the ear, and it would blend to the back here. Stop. So now she's gonna have to stand up because we're gonna do the back part. But you can see how that would look. You just trim it, and then this would fill in as it grew. And you'd have this big kind of a helmet head. blend it into here. So that's another type of top knot you can do. And I'll show you from how to get the back part of it to blend and look nice. Usually if you have that type of top knot, you're going to have a bigger, fuller body. So we've done the front. Now we're going to do the back side of this, the top knot, which is going to be starting under here. So here you want to, where are you? Oh, stop. Stop, she's starting to get irritated. Here you want to start at the neck and trim off what's sticking out. And you want to trim up to the ear. Okay? And you can scissor it back, fix any of this, and make sure that's not sticking out. Okay. Hold the ear out of the way. Stop. Hold the ear out of the way. And you see what's hanging over back here. Stop. Okay. There's different ways to get a top knot. Lots of different ways. But my method is to do the front, do the back. And so you can fix this. You don't want it bulging back here. And you can do this with curves, or again, you can use it with thinners. Come up behind it. And then you connect the two. And the way I connect the two, I do it and I comb it over. And just like the foot, just like the nose, you lay it in here. You find the top of that ear. Okay, you can feel there's a bulge right there. You find the top of that ear. You set your scissors on it. You bevel them out a little bit and just cut. It's scary. But you just cut and you take it back towards that other part. And then you meet them up. Calm your ear down. Calm that over some more. And you cut what's sticking off. I mean, cut off what's sticking over the edge of that ear. If you do it a couple times, it gets better. It can be nerve-wracking at first because you can cut it in tight. I cut this one in pretty tight, straight up and down. You're gonna tell me when you're gonna switch. Straight up and down. But I wanted it that way. I wanted to show you how to do a shorter top knot. And always make sure you cut this, you finish this up on the inside here. Now you cannot do the back with them sitting it down. You have to stand up. Because if you do it sitting down, it's going to be too short back there. Now you see, every time I comb this, it flies up. You got static in it. You can take a Snuggle fabric softener and dilute it way down, like maybe 4:1. Put it in a spray bottle, and you can spray that in the air. That's not what that is. That is actually a product that I buy, but you can use Snuggle. And she's had a hair in her mouth. Again. That will keep your flyaways going. And comb it all over and then clean it all up. And back here, behind this ear, clean it up. You feel the back of the ear and clean it up to that back of the ear. Same with the back of the head. She's had different haircuts, and of course the dogs, every groomer's different when they trim. So the way I've done her top knot, she'll have to grow this part all out because I included that as part of the ear. They had included it as part of the top knot. And it depends. I mean, So you could trim that off, but it's part of the ear. And even my dogs, they're all different every time. So, not every time, but once you get it set, it's pretty easy to keep. So, and we're gonna straighten up the back of this. And then bring it on over to the top. The way you can do the well, you want to do the other side. I'm going to do the back first. Remember, this side is shorter from that Miami trim. Not as much to clean up. I'll pull the ear forward. Open up the back of the ear a little bit. And bounce it around a little bit so you know you're not grabbing a big chunk of the ear. A lot of times this is the harder side for people, so if you do this side first, it's easier to even up the other side. I'm gonna comb it over and take off what's sticking out. Stop. Bring up here. Stop. I'm trying to snip my hand. Okay, once you get both sides done like you like, you can stand it all up. So you got, this part keeps sticking out on me, so I'm going to trim it off just a little bit. It's bugging me. Trim that. Stop. We're going to take this little cone head looking going on here and see from the front. It's a little bit of a cone head, like a mohawk. So what I do is I open my scissors all the way and I bring it up and it tends to bevel it nice. Just be careful, don't go too short because you can always take more off, but you can't add it back unless you have time. Stop. And you look at it from the top here and make it even. Same thing here. Top knots are the worst. The longest, they take the longest to learn. It seems like. And there's so many different ways to get a top knot. The other techniques people have. You can go on YouTube and find other techniques. The other thing is using curves. You can use curves for them too. Which I used to do, but I don't anymore. Stop. Stop. That's pretty much it. You straighten up what you see that's sticking out. Be careful because you can whittle away your top knot to nothing. If you want, you can take a 1-inch clipper comb and run it against the grain with the grain. A lot of times it's best if you do it this way so you don't take it off so short here. But that will help set a length for you on the 1-inch. And then you just shape it up. You tighten in the sides and you just shape it up. But for the most part, that's pretty much it.